Hola Bafetu, welcome back. Welcome to Dibaleni Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel. Football from the fans' perspective. Today we are speaking Khanyisa Mayo. Kumnyama, Khanyisa. So yes, yesterday when we were busy preparing for the Bafana Bafana game, to watch the Bafana Bafana game, the news broke out. Mazola Mlefe came, made an announcement that Kaizer Chiefs is very close to signing the player Khanyisa Mayo. And then later on, after 45 minutes to an hour, there was a confirmation from Kaizer Chiefs, the official account, and then a confirmation as well in his, I think in his Instagram account, that now is codified. And then the structure of the deal is that it is a loan with an obligation to buy at the end of the season. The developments are that we are told that the team decided, the club management decided not to renew his contract. It is not Coach Said Ramovic. It's the team from Algeria where he signed the CR Belouizdad, and they decided not to renew his contract. Not to register him in the squad of players that are going to play in the new season. And then they told him that you are free to go, you must go look for opportunities elsewhere, which is one thing that I think is fair. If a club decides that, okay, we can no longer use this player, we don't think they are helpful in terms of, contribution in the team, in terms of taking us forward, it is only fair to say, let us release you, let us give you another chance in another team, go try, so that we don't disturb and hamper your future and your career as a football player. Instead of keeping a player on the bench, unhappy, the management is not happy, the relationship is toxic, it is only fair to release the player, which I completely agree with it. But I want to ask, Khanyisa Mayo, 2023-2024, he won the Golden Boot in PSL. No, 2022-2023 Golden Boot. And then played for them the season 2024, didn't perform well. But I'm asking, why didn't the club decide to keep him, give him another chance, another season? Could it be an issue of performance only? If it's performance, we can argue that he needed to adapt. That is the first season, and then maybe he can pick up and then find himself. Could it also be an issue of adaptation in terms of psychological and mental readiness and mental presence in that kind of a country in Northern Africa, that perhaps they've realized that this player may be a good player, but he has not managed to adapt, he has not managed to acclimatize into that kind of an environment, and it would be best that we release him and then allow him to go back at home. And then could it be also an issue of work ethic, be an issue of motivation, that during the course of the season he would have lost motivation and even the love and the drive for football. And therefore, even when you see him see a player on training, you can see that this is not the player that we bought. You can see that he has lost his confidence as well. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't think this move is a bad move for Kaizer Chiefs. In fact, I think it's a very, very good move for Kaizer Chiefs, considering the fact that, he is, according to me, I see him as a striker, I see him as a player that can play as a number 10, and I see him as a player that can play as a winger. He's a very good finisher, he's a very mobile player, he's a very confident player. And the fact that, he's the son of the legend of Kaizer Chiefs, Patrick Mayo, then that is just, another thing that I appreciate. But there are things that I think we need to ask, man. With this move of Khanyisa Mayo, something that comes in my mind is, what is happening with the moves to North Africa? One, what is, perhaps it's not wrong, but this whole thing of new interest of going to North Africa, South African players, coaches and all that might be a good thing, but it doesn't look like it lasts. It looks like there's a huge cultural difference. Coach Pito was coaching in Al Ahly, won them cups, was very competitive, but how he separated with the club, it was just not okay. I mean, Rulani, I'm trying to think which coach or player that lasted. I mean, we had a saga with Mukwana, that I don't know what was happening with payments and the rest of those things. And there were rumors, and there was very strong rumors and suggestions that he may even have to come back home and then start playing his football at home. And then there will be issues, they will resolve other issues legally. But there's problems between the South African players and coaches and their moves going to North Africa. I can argue Pesitao survived, played well, and was a key player in Al Ahly, but you know, his performance went down. Maybe that naturally, as a player that is getting old, his performance was bound to go down. But Mukwana was a national team player, and now is no longer called. And I am worried that might just be a problem there. And then now we have Mayo coming back. I think those are things that perhaps the South African football fraternity must think about and must consider, and must really consider if these moves are correct or these moves are fine. My honest opinion is that I don't think that a player that is good in South Africa, that is a South African, should take a deal to North Africa. I disagree with it. I mean, Thembinkosi Lorch, he's probably gonna be back in the national team because he has improved a lot. We saw him in the World Cup, but Mailula as well, he moved from America to Wydad as well, Wydad Casablanca, but they released him again. And these players are players that the players I'm mentioning are players that were very, very hot, were very good, were proper national team material. But it looks like Agambi actually when it comes to, you know, the Northern African spaces. But I don't know. I would like to pick your mind, hear what you think about this. Personally, I don't think they are good moves. Nevertheless, it's a very big move for Kaizer Chiefs. We accept it. I think Khanyisa Mayo adds into the pool of players in Kaizer Chiefs that have prospects. The fact that he's 27 is the right age. Is an age where players are the most confident, they peak. And the fact that he's used to PSL, he knows PSL, has played there all his career until he left. He went to the northern parts of Africa. And the fact that I think is a player that would want to prove himself. He's a player that would want to resurrect his career. He's a player that will want to prove a point, will want to show that he's still, you know, the striker that we know, the player that we know, the exciting player that we know. And the fact that, I mean, he would also want to perform in a club where his father has a legacy and has been, you know, there. And this move, honestly, I think is a very good move for Kaizer Chiefs. I also want to credit the management of Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, they've done so well to try and make this team a better team without using a lot of money, which is very, very smart. I don't think a club should be ran this way, but Kaizer Chiefs, this transfer window, they played a very, very smart business. Of all the players that we got, most of them are very good players. Most of them are showing that they can compete. I mean, already with the left back and the right back from Orlando Pirates, and the fact that we still have other players that were trying to register. Others are recovering, and I think they had a lot of potential and a lot of creativity and a lot of attack for Kaizer Chiefs. Velepai, your Batman, I mean, you got Godaro, I mean, Silva, Flavio da Silva scored in his debut. I think this is a crop of players that we can use properly. They can be a healthy competition, considering the fact that Kaizer Chiefs is playing African football this season. will also be participating in the Nedbank Cup, the Black Label Cup, and the league. So I think there's a crop of players. There's also a healthy competition. I honestly think Tasrik Morris has to be released because we have, options there. We have a lot of options there. We have Duba, we have Igodaro, we have Silva, and then now we have Mayo. And I think Duba and Mayo are similar players that can play as second strikers, can play as wingers, can also drop and play as 10. So those are the two players. Then we have Flavio da Silva and Godaro, who are the main strikers, the target men. So I think the profile of players at that level is fine for Kaizer Chiefs. And I think it will add for Kaizer Chiefs a lot of value. And we still have Batman who plays as a 10. We still have Velepai who plays as a winger. I think it's a very, very good one. The last thing that I want to speak about is that, so after we beat Lesotho 3-0, you'd remember that Nyiko Mobi got injured and the national team decided to call Thabiso Monyane into the national team as a right back. So I think slowly but surely, as Kaizer Chiefs is improving their team, as also we improve, and these improvements must happen in this way, is that you must improve the individual potential of players, the individual performances of players which contribute to the team. And once you do that, once you build the confidence of players, once you improve them individually, then we're going to have more representative in the national team. I don't agree to this whole Hugo Bros is unfair and all that. But with Nyiko Mobi, I did raise it that I don't understand why Nyiko Mobi is there ahead of Thabiso Monyane. And he got injured, unfortunately, and I think Thabiso has to be there. I think he has played very well. He has proven himself, and I think is coming all right. And I think there's also Peterson that is supposed to be in the national team, I believe. But it's not a problem for as long as the coach wins, for as long as Bafana Bafana progresses. I don't have a problem with that. But I want to congratulate another Kaizer Chiefs player making it to Ndusha Balala and Monyane in the national team. And I believe that in the next coming few months, in the next coming few weeks, we'll have more Kaizer Chiefs players there. And that should not be what occupies our minds anyway. But what should occupy us should be that we support the team is improving, the team is winning games, the team is keeping clean sheets, the team is creating goals, the team is playing football that can attract us and attract fans to the stadiums. Then we're happy. Then we're happy as Kaizer Chiefs. Let me hear from you. Let me hear from you the ideas and the views about Mayo. What you think about the move? What you think could be the influence towards the team deciding not to register him? What do you think he can add for Kaizer Chiefs if you think really will come back to his best and will have a good season? Otherwise, from me, Tibalen Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel, football from the fans' perspective, I sign out. Danko.